Hello everyone. Welcome back to Twilight Tales. Tonight I bring you a story wrapped in sorrow, stitched in silence, and soaked in terror. If you're new here, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Because once this tale sinks its teeth in, you'll never forget it. So, turn off the lights, tuck in under your blanket, and prepare yourself. Some stories aren't just told. They return. It started with a scream. Not the kind you hear in movies, exaggerated and theatrical. This one was primal, raw, ripped straight from the depths of a mother's soul. Eliza Harper held her newborn, tighter as the mid-autumn storm battered the windows of her countryside home. Little Jamie had just turned 3 months, still fragile and delicate. His tiny hand curled around her finger as he drifted in and out of sleep. She'd never felt a love so terrifying, so intense, like something ancient had claimed her heart the moment she heard his first cry. That night the lights flickered. Then they went out. It was 11:59 p.m. She thought it was the storm. She thought maybe the old power lines were down again. But when the air shifted, when the room went impossibly cold, when the silence became too perfect to be natural, she knew. Something else was here. Jamie stirred in her arms but didn't cry. He stared past her shoulder, his tiny eyes wide. Then he smiled. A breeze moved through the room, though the windows were shut. The scent of damp soil and rot filled the nursery. And then, her baby was gone. No cry, no struggle. One blink, and the weight in her arms vanished. She screamed until her throat bled. She tore the room apart. She called the police, the neighbors, the priest. But Jamie was gone. Just gone. They said she was insane, that she'd dropped the baby, that some animal, maybe a coyote or a bear, broke in. No evidence, no trail, no footprints, no answers. For 10 years she didn't stop searching. For 10 years she saw his face in her dreams, older each time. And for 10 years, she whispered into the darkness, "Bring him back. Be careful what you beg for." It was the night of his 10th birthday when the knock came. 3 slow, deliberate knocks. Eliza had been drinking again, staring at the old baby monitor she refused to throw away. It hadn't made a sound since that night. But now it was glowing red. Knock, knock, knock. She stood slowly. Her bones ached. Her heart pounded. No one used the front door anymore. Not since people in town stopped talking to her. Not since they whispered about the crazy baby lady. Behind her back, she opened the door, and there he was, Jamie. Older, taller, pale. But it was him. His face hadn't changed much from the pictures she kept. Same eyes, same little freckle under his left ear. "Eliza," he said softly. "Not Mom, not Mama, just her name." Tears poured down her face. She pulled him into her arms, sobbing uncontrollably. He didn't hug back. "Where have you been?" she whispered, holding his face. He looked past her into the house. "Is it safe?" he asked. The question sent a chill through her spine. "What do you mean?" she said. "I can only stay if it's safe." She didn't know what he meant, but she brought him in, made him cocoa, tried to act like the world made sense again. That night she watched him sleep on the couch, and that's when she saw it. When the moonlight hit him just right, his skin wasn't entirely right. It was too smooth, too pale, like porcelain. And his eyes, God help her, his eyes didn't close when he slept. They stayed open, glassy, watching something she couldn't see. She told herself it was trauma, that he'd been taken by someone, that his body had changed because of it. She'd get him help. But at 3:33 a.m., she heard whispering from the baby monitor, static. Then, "You shouldn't have let him in." The next morning, Jamie was different. He didn't eat. He didn't blink. And when he spoke, it was always off, like he was reciting memories that weren't his own. "Remember when you read me Goodnight Moon, Eliza?" he said, smiling too, wide. She nodded, tears in her eyes. "Except, I wasn't here," he said. And then he laughed. Eliza started locking her bedroom door at night. By the fourth day, strange things happened. The house smelled of sulfur. Flies buzzed around Jamie constantly, but never landed on him. And sometimes, just sometimes, she could hear crying from the attic. But there was nothing up there. Or so she thought. On the fifth night, she caught him digging in the backyard, barefoot, shirtless, in the pouring rain. "Jamie!" she screamed. "What are you doing?" He looked up, muddy fingers twitching. "They buried me wrong," he said. "I was cold." She tried to pull him inside. His arms were like stone, not strong, unmoving, and the hole he'd dug was deep. Too deep for just one night. There was something wrapped in cloth at the bottom, something small. She didn't look. She couldn't. That night, she stayed awake with a knife under her pillow. At exactly 3:33 a.m., she heard footsteps, but not from the hallway, from inside her closet, slow, scraping. She didn't move, didn't breathe. Her eyes locked on the door as it creaked open on its own. Jamie stood there, but something was wrong. He wasn't breathing, and something moved beneath his skin, like worms writhing just beneath the surface. "Eliza," he said, "I don't think I belong here." She nodded slowly. "I know, baby," she whispered. "We'll fix this." He smiled again. "A horrible, broken thing. I think he wants to come home too." "Who?" Jamie tilted his head. "The one I replaced." The room went black. She woke up in the morning with dirt under her nails and scratches on her arms. The hole in the backyard was filled again. No sign of Jamie. But in the nursery, the room she hadn't touched in a decade, there were fresh handprints on the crib. Too small to be a 10-year-old's, too small, even for a newborn. She called the priest. Father Graham didn't believe her at first, until he walked into the house. He vomited in the entryway. "Something's been feeding here," he muttered. "Something old." She showed him Jamie's photo. He went pale. "I've seen this face before," he said. "But not on a child." That night they tried to bless the house. They didn't even finish the first prayer before the walls bled. Not metaphorically. Literally. Thick, dark ooze spilled from the seams of the wallpaper. The lights shattered. The floor cracked, and from the nursery, Jamie's voice called out, "Eliza, he's still hungry." The priest fled. He never came back, and Eliza was left alone again. The next few nights blurred. Her reflection whispered to her. The baby monitor shrieked at random. Furniture moved on its own. Something scratched behind the walls from inside. Then came the final night. The night it all made sense. Jamie stood at the foot of her bed. "Eliza," he said, his voice now echoing unnaturally. "Do you want to see what I really am?" She shook her head, but he showed her anyway. His skin peeled back like wet paper, and beneath it, there was no child, no flesh, just bones, black and cracked, with runes etched into them. His eyes were hollow, and something ancient screamed from inside his chest. Something that had been wearing her son's face like a costume. "He was promised," the thing said. "You begged for him back, so I gave you what you asked for." Eliza collapsed to her knees weeping. "I just wanted my baby." The creature smiled with teeth that were too many and too sharp. "Then hold him." It opened its arms, and the real Jamie stepped out. Still 3 months old. Still perfect. Still dead. His little body blue and frozen. Eyes wide open. Mouth locked in an eternal silent cry. She reached for him, and everything went black. They found Eliza Harper's body the next morning. She was cradling a bundle of bones in a blanket, singing softly to it. "Good night, moon. Good night, stars." The doctors say she never had a child. No birth records, no pictures, no proof. The neighbors said the house had been empty for years. No one remembers Jamie Harper, except you. Because now you've heard the story, and stories, especially ones with old promises, remember you too. So if you hear a knock at your door at 3:33 a.m., don't open it, even if a little boy says he's finally home. Because some things that are taken should stay gone. Thank you for listening to Twilight Tales. If your heart's still beating, consider liking, subscribing, and sharing this tale with someone who sleeps too peacefully. Until next time, sleep tight.